What's up, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Things and Stuff with TNT. I am one of your hosts. I go by the name of Terrell.
Trayvon.
And welcome to another episode of Things and Stuff with TNT.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
As you can see, man, we're not at our regular studio, coming at you straight from the living room. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Black Panther, Lakers,
Road to WrestleMania, FASTLANE.
Yeah, man, a lot of things going on, so we're going to get right into it. Black Panther, as you guys know, we've been watching the show, we've been hyping it up, seen it, came out, making all kinds of money. Well, still making money. This past week, it just crossed $1 billion at the box office.
That's wild.
Man.
I knew it was on that pace because this opening weekend numbers, crazy.
Yeah, it smashed opening weekend.
It can't build it. So.
Yeah, and it has a lot of momentum. Like, it crossed $1 billion, and we're like a month in at this point. That's not the end of its run. Yeah. Like, it's gonna keep going. Ultimately, I think it's probably gonna keep going, leading us up into Avengers. Like, I see this being at least in the top 5 until Avengers comes out.
So, how you feel about Avengers? You think it's gonna make more than Black Panther at the box office?
Man, I would have to imagine that, like, not only do I think that Avengers will make more, but Avengers kind of has to make more. Like, how bad of a sign would that be for a movie, Black Panther, to make, let's just say they stop at $1 billion. Let's say that. Not possible, but let's say it stops at $1 billion. And then Avengers to come out and they don't make $1 billion when they have Black Panther in it, right. That would be wild.
And more superheroes in it.
Right. A lot of things coming to a head in this one. Like, ultimately, 18 movies of build-up leading into Avengers Infinity War. You know, we started with the first Iron Man 2008. We're 10 years in, movie after movie after movie. Like, there's a lot of expectation, a lot of anticipation. I can't see them, you know, letting themselves down.
Yeah. The plane died. Man, I'm really excited for Avengers. Black Panther, I do want to go see it again before I go see Avengers again April 27th, but I'm ready for it. I hope a lot of characters. I want to see a lot of characters die. Like, I just want to say, because for Marvel movies, it has been big characters like dying. You know,
right.
It's always been like little characters or people who really just get hurt. So.
Right, and people in Marvel movies will die and come right back.
Right.
And nothing's like definitive. I think in this movie you definitely see some heroes die. I'm not anticipating a lot. I say like maybe 3 to 4 of characters we've come to know will probably be gone after this. Predictions, not knowing anything. I think possibly Captain America and or Iron Man, Vision, Hawkeye. So I think there's some potential for some people to die. I don't think it's gonna be like by the time the end of the movie's like, wait, how are we gonna do another one?
Half the rosters there.
Right.
That's wild. But going on to the next topic, we watched FASTLANE yesterday.
Yeah. Came out, chill with your boy. We watched WWE FASTLANE last night. We're on the road to WrestleMania, man.
How did you feel about the pay-per-view overall?
Overall, it was a good card, man. This pay-per-view was kind of like a road bump in a way. Like, they say it's the FASTLANE, but it's kind of like a slowdown because after Royal Rumble, people are ready to get to Mania. So, while the matches last night were pretty predictable, I would say, other than the Randy Orton and Bobby Roode, I didn't really know which way to go on that. They did everything right. And just because someone's predictable doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. Right. So just setting up good matches, predictable outcomes, but it sets up Mania nicely. And now we're looking at a pretty good WrestleMania card.
Like we said, we made the card, but just listen to it. I like how they gave each match time to actually wrestle. You know, everybody did a good match. The match that was most surprising to me was the last match, the six-man.
The six-pack challenge?
Yeah, six-pack challenge. I didn't think it was going to be that good, but they found their spots.
Yeah, that match, it made me a little nervous in the beginning because a match like that, 6 men in the ring at once, is a little chaotic, but they definitely found the rhythm, and it didn't take them too long to do so. They found the rhythm, a lot of good spots. AJ's still the best wrestler in the world, hands down.
Yeah, I don't know who's even close, but AJ's number one right now.
Right, I think Dolph had a good showing. The Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn storyline is interesting. I think Dolph might see a way to get in that. I think we were talking about where does this lead. Ultimately, Daniel Bryan, I don't think they're gonna let him wrestle. So maybe a tag team match with Dolph and Shane versus Sammy and Kevin.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah, they planted a little bit of seeds, not too much. So we'll see how that works out. I know Dolph was recently, his contract was up, and he signed a new contract where he'll be making $1.5 million a year. He also has a stipulated in his contract that he can leave early, so he has a lot of outside things going on, like he does politics every now and again, speaking about the stock market, things like that. He does stand-up comedy on the side, so he has a stipulation in his contract now. Like, let's say he has the first match on the card on SmackDown, he doesn't have to stay for match 2, 3, 4, or 5. He can leave.
Yeah, he'll do something.
So I think part of that contract, the reason I bring it up is I'm sure signing that contract, he's like, look, I want a spot at Mania.
Yeah.
So, he's been with the company for a long time. He's never had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. And this WrestleMania looks like the WrestleMania to, like, show some of these guys love, because the Usos, 9 years, no WrestleMania appearances, they have to have a match. And I love the way they set up their WrestleMania match last night.
Oh, yeah. Having the Bludgeon Brothers come out and just wreak havoc on them in the New Day.
Right.
A triple threat ladder match or TLC match is what I'm looking for them to do at WrestleMania.
I think there's some big time potential for that, especially considering the Usos and the New Day had a major rivalry. Some of the best tag team matches I've seen in the past since like the Edge and Christian days and the Hardys and the Dudley Boys. And I think it's interesting that I mentioned those teams because you have all the pieces. Like the New Day is kind of like a modern day Edge and Christian. Right. The Usos are like a thuggish, ruggish Hardy Boys, and then you got the Bludgeon Brothers, the big, brawlers. Right. We can have a nice little TLC WrestleMania moment.
How you feel about John Cena losing? You think they're going to set him up at the Undertaker? Or
I'm not sure. There's a lot of rumors online. They've done a good job of keeping it close to the vest on what their John Cena plans are. Originally, the plan was Cena versus Taker. I still think that's the plan. I think that makes the most sense. But they've leaked some things online that say Taker's not wrestling this year. I don't know if that's true or not. I know one of the rumors were they were going to get Rey Mysterio and have him and John in a match. I don't see that being a WrestleMania match. Rey Mysterio got hurt on the Indies, so he's probably going to be out a while. Won't even be able to come back to the WWE for a couple months. But ultimately, Taker Cena makes the most sense. I thought they were planting seeds for it last night. John Cena's been making the media rounds saying, wouldn't it be a great story if I literally missed out on WrestleMania and then it will build to next year? Like, all right, is he going to miss out on this year's WrestleMania? I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. In the business, people get hurt all the time. So don't leave money on the table. Don't think that, all right, we're just going to keep John Cena, one of our biggest stars, off of WrestleMania, but we'll have him next year, because things don't always work that way.
Yeah, he's getting more busy now. He's about to host the Kids.
The Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award.
Making movies now. Yeah,
right.
So a year from now, John might be too busy to even try to get WrestleMania. You see what's going on with The Rock.
Right, and that's one thing John says, he's never going to leave and this and that. But The Rock has wrestling in his blood. And say what you want about how he's gone. His last match was 2011, 2012, right before he filmed the Hercules movie. He got hurt in that match. And Hollywood flipped out like, yo, we're not letting you just wrestle. So John, while he still loves the business, I'm sure, at a certain point, these movies aren't just going to let him still wrestle the type of way he wants to wrestle.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Another thing in wrestling news, Jeff Hardy got arrested.
Jeff Hardy, DWI over the weekend. He had just got cleared to come back. He had a rotator cuff injury. He had to get surgery. He was supposed to be out 6 to 9 months. I think it's been right around 7. He's looking like he finally got cleared. Maybe come back in time for WrestleMania. Maybe save him to right after WrestleMania. I don't know how this DWI will factor in though.
Is he on like strike 2 or the thing?
He had 2 strikes before when he was with the company for drugs and things of that nature. Jeff Hardy has had his demons, as we like to say in the WWE. Right. Wrestling in general, when you talk about someone and their demons, all right, they had some drug, alcohol problems. But it's interesting. We speak about the Usos. About a month ago, Jey Uso got a DWI, and that hasn't affected them. They're still the tag team champions. They're, like I said, they're about to have a WrestleMania match. So it's going to be interesting to see how they treat Jeff. hopefully, when he talks to the company and stuff, he has at least,
yeah, good reason.
So, I mean, ultimately, there's no good reason, but hopefully he has, like a heartful apology and like,
something.
Look, I slipped up, not gonna happen again. Because I would love to see Jeff, especially the Woken character. It's been slow to grow on me. I seen it in TNA when he was broken. Even back then, it was like I don't see how this would work in the big company, but it seems like it's getting a little bit of steam now. They're building towards the Hardy compound. They filmed this past week. I don't know if Jeff has anything to do with that, but Jeremy Borash, former backstage worker in TNA, is now with WWE. Triple H brought him on. He had a big part to do with the Broken Universe in TNA. So they got him working with Matt Hardy again. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't, compromise Jeff too much.
Right. Would you push Jeff for the single title run?
Eventually, if his body can still hold up to it. Matt Hardy body does not look healthy to me. Jeff still looks like he can definitely have a world title run in him, but
that's wild because Jeff was the one jumping off ladders. Right. And Matt was the more safe, more technical fighter.
Exactly.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, Jeff is durable, man. Some of the spots he's taken over the years, it's like, how is this guy still wrestling?
Right.
Like, how is Edge retired, Christian retired? The Dudley boys both retired. Jeff Hardy's the one.
The one out of all of them, still going strong. But next on top of the Lakers.
You see it? Motherfucking Lakers, man. Our kids are rolling.
Yeah, bro. Doing good. Isaiah Thomas is fighting, looking like a little bit of Isaiah Thomas from last week. Not all the way, but, getting over that injury. We had a game against the Cavs last night, and we did good. Hats off to LeBron, though. LeBron, two of the craziest passes I ever seen in my life.
LeBron is so talented.
Yeah. Do you think if you're LeBron and after the Lakers beat us like they'll beat them last night like that, you come to LA?
I don't know what LeBron does. I'm not sure if he necessarily knows what he does either. The rumor list out there is what? 76ers, Houston, Lakers, and Cleveland.
I don't think he goes back to the Cavs though.
Yeah, man. It's hard for me to see this Cavs team making it to the finals. Like, I still give it to LeBron. They'll probably make Eastern Conference Finals. They're missing Kevin Love. They're missing Tristan Thompson, so on and so forth. Rodney Hood.
Yeah.
But their defense last year wasn't good enough. Their defense is worse this year. They got a bunch of guys that don't have playoff experience. Right. And Toronto has been looking good. Yeah. Granted, we got to see Kyle Lowry in the playoffs.
He chokes all the time.
Yeah, he normally chokes a little bit, but DeMar DeRozan has balled out this year. Ibaka is still playing at a high level. It's going to be tough for the Cavs. Yeah. It's not going to be, if they make it to the finals this year, it's not going to be a cakewalk, I'll say that. Yeah. And if they do, I don't see any way that they beat the Warriors or Houston. Right. So back to your original question, what does LeBron do? To me, the list is Houston, Lakers, Sixers. And if I'm LeBron, I really sit down and look, all right, Houston's probably the way for me. If not Houston, Lakers. Lakers are a young team, exciting. They're in La La. He has two mansions out here. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in LA?
And if the Lakers get Paul George, that's just more reason for him to come.
Right. Paul George, Ingram on the wings.
Lonzo
dishing the ball movement. Exactly. A lot of people feel like we wouldn't be able to get retain Julius, but looking on Twitter, there is a way that it could be done. It's not easy, but if Paul George basically agrees to a trade similar to what Chris Paul did, like, look, I'm leaving, but trade me, and then I'll hold up my free agency for another year, then it's possible we could keep Julius, sign Paul George, sign LeBron. All that said, I'm fine if we just sign Paul George and Julius. Right. And if that's the case, I'm also fine with bringing back Brook Lopez for a cheaper deal, possibly bringing back IT for, the six-man role. I like Isaiah in that six-man role. That's part of the reason when he left Sacramento and went to Phoenix, he wanted to come to the Lakers. And back then, I was like, yo, Lakers should get this guy. He's a perfect six-man. Ultimately, Lakers were chasing Carmelo at the time.
It didn't work out.
Right. Ultimately, it kind of did work out because
we got all these.
I didn't need Carmelo. I didn't need LaMarcus Aldridge. Right. Like, we see where they are, and I'm not mad at where the Lakers are right now. But all that being said, it's hard for me to see Isaiah coming back to the Lakers for the money that will probably be able to pay him when teams like, Dallas are out there, teams like the Indiana Pacers, even a team like the New York Knicks. I don't know how much cap space they have, but I feel like teams will be able to pay more to IT.
Yeah.
For even the 6-man role, they'll be able to pay him more than we would.
Yeah. But on more in sports, Richard Sherman going to the California team 49ers.
Yeah, how you feel about that, man?
Man, I'm a 49ers fan. We need help on defense. We need corners. So I'm glad with the pick. And I think the main reason he came to the 49ers because he's going to be facing Seattle 2 times each year. So he's
some bad blood.
He wants to know, like, hey, you fucked up. I'm about to kill you on the field all the time.
So what do you think this does for the 49ers? Do you think they're a playoff team automatically just off the move they made getting Richard Sherman?
Jimmy Garoppolo was doing great last year. So I have to see the first couple of games, but right now our defense has gotten better and our offense at the end of the year was stepping up. So I got us an early wild card playoff. I feel because the NFC is always you don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't know the Cowboys sometimes, Eagles.
Yeah.
The NFC really for the AFC is locked in because you either know it's going to be Tom Brady. It's been proven it's going to be Tom Brady. NFC is just
it's game related.
NFC like you don't know.
Yeah, murderers row for real.
Yeah.
You were telling me about the moves the Rams made. How do you feel about that?
Oh, the Rams made some moves too. I wouldn't be surprised. They're about a Super Bowl favorite next year because their defense stepped up and their offense was already doing good. So, but they gotta watch out for the Eagles because the Eagles got Michael Bennett. And like I said, the NFC never know.
Right. If you're the Eagles, do you trade Nick Foles? Do you keep him? What's the move?
You got to trade him. You got to get pieces for him because you see teams around the NFC are getting better.
Right.
So why don't you trade that man for draft picks or something to get your team to the Super Bowl next year again? Because Carl Wicks was doing his thing before he got hurt.
Yeah. Carson was balling out. Nick Foles had a good showing in the Super Bowl, but I agree with you. I'd probably trade that guy while his value sits highest. And we'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting, man. I'm already looking forward to the NFL season.
Yeah.
Although I'm still loving this basketball season. And a little bit back to basketball. Houston Warriors. Do you have a pick? Do you think?
I still got the Warriors right now because I think Steph is coming back and they'll be fine by the playoffs. I still got the Warriors, but you never know. Somebody go down, hurt in the Warriors, I got Houston.
Same.
With Houston, Chris Paul, you never know. Chris Paul's been injury prone, never got out the second.
Right, never been out the second round. So he'll definitely get out the second round this year.
Yeah, going Western Conference.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be.
What if he does it and gets eliminated second round again?
If they don't, it would be one of the biggest. Whoever beats them, even if it's a team like the Thunder, who they know, all right, they have all-stars, they can get hot. That's an upset.
Right.
Like, the way Houston's been playing this year, they're the number 1 seed in the West, which is, if you're the number 1 seed in the West, you're the number 1 seed in the league.
Right.
So, it's going to be tough. But I agree with you. I picked the Warriors to win. I think it's going to be that's the championship game. It reminds me of the old Kobe Shaq Dynasty Lakers where the Western Conference was the championship. Right. Lakers versus Sacramento, Lakers versus Spurs. Like, those are the real championship matches. And it's like, all right, who gets to go beat up on the East?
Yeah.
So, it's going to be interesting. But I know we're jumping around a little bit. But like we said, Black Panther, we mentioned that earlier. We just saw the Oscars within the last couple weeks, man. Guillermo del Toro winning Best Director. Shouts out to Jordan Peele for Best Original Screenplay. Again, Guillermo del Toro, Shape of Water, winning Best Picture. It wasn't too bad of an Oscar. Jimmy Kimmel, I think, did a good job hosting. But more specifically to my point about Black Panther, they asked Christopher Nolan, director of The Dark Knight, Dunkirk this year, which was nominated for Best Picture. They asked him, what's your early lot for Best Picture nominations next year? And without hesitation, my boy said Black Panther, man.
That's wild, man. Do you think they win it, pull it out somehow?
Man, I don't think they win it if they even get nominated. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But if they get nominated, I think that in itself is a win. Traditionally, they don't nominate superhero movies, but this was something different. Yeah. This was a little bit bigger than a superhero movie. And the way the Oscars, the Academy seems to have been trending lately is they got some younger voters.
Right.
They're, it's a little
It's
bit more
getting-
open.
yeah.
Like, it's still slow,
Yeah.
but it's getting there to where it's not just movies that, we ain't even heard of.
Yeah, like they did like I never used to watch the Oscars because there no movies I was interested in.
Right.
It'll be all like dramas.
Yeah, a lot of dramas.
The one with Matthew McConaughey, the villain dog, when he was like,
Dallas Buyers
yeah,
Club?
like stuff like
Yeah.
that's not movies I see. Like I'm like sci-fi action.
I feel it.
Superheroes.
This movie though with Ryan Coogler, the money it's made, the reception it's gotten across the board, praise. Have I seen any negative feedback on that movie?
I haven't seen it at all.
Right, so it would be a good look, and like we say, Jordan Peele, best screenplay this year. So I think if Black Panther has a chance to really take a win, it would be best original score because the score on that movie is amazing. Yeah. Perhaps best original screenplay, Ryan Coogler and one of his writing partners wrote the screenplay. Yeah, man, I would like to see that.
Yeah, that would be dope for them to pull it out. Do it again for Black Excellence, you feel me?
Right.
So hopefully they pull it out. Anything else on the topic list?
That's it for me, man. We just wanted to get to y'all, let y'all know, we still here. We're not doing it every week, but we're going to try to do it, bi-weekly. As you can see, we're doing it from the living room right now. Some stuff is happening, people. Some stuff is happening. Stay tuned. We're talking about doing something special for WrestleMania. Stay tuned to find out more about that.
Oh, before we take the show off, you see the Odell Beckham?
Odell Beckham Jr., man. It's not a good look.
It's not
a good look. But they don't actually have him doing anything.
Right.
Like
they just had the stuff there.
Yeah.
And look, it's
so like being around it isn't against the law.
Right.
Like, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know the law like that.
but yeah.
Like I don't think the NFL can crack down too hard, but it is the NFL. I mean, it's a black athlete. So we will see.
Right, we'll see. But other than that, I think that's it on the topic list.
Yeah, man. Like I always say, be great, man.
Go out, do great stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wakanda forever.
Hey, we're out.